We already saw how DC Comics writer Gretchen Felker-Martin was fired and his entire Red Hood series was cancelled on the day of its release, following his celebration of the death of Charlie Kirk. But more firings are coming in hot and fast. Even in my native Norway, there has been a backlash after figures on the extreme left just revealed to the world how wicked and depraved they truly are. Let's begin with a follow-up from my neck of the woods, just to demonstrate that contrary to what some of the crazies on TikTok may think.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few. It's just great.
Yeah, contrary to what people like this think, this really is a big deal. In our previous video, I mentioned the very Norwegian Amrit Kaur, who is the leader of the youth charter of our local communist party, simply called RED. And to those who may be confused about that, outside of North America, it is red that is the color of liberals, socialists, progressives and other assorted commies, while blue is the color of conservatives. And these then are blood red commies, and the leader of the youth faction reacted to the death of Charlie Kirk with giggling glee on TikTok, because she is an activist at heart, and used to getting likes and views for labeling anyone against her authoritarian commie vision for a just and equitable world as Yahtzees that must be destroyed. To her shock, however, the reaction to this video was quick and brutal, and not just from the local establishment politicians, which she had counted on, but in neighbouring Sweden and Denmark as well. And on top of that, and this was the really nasty surprise, from her own side. Turns out that for some reason or other, Amrit Kaur is a little bit atypical from other Nordic people who generally aren't fans of political assassinations, even if they subscribe to communism. People who just voted for this party in our recent elections were in uproar, because this is not what they thought they voted for. A number of members actually left the party in protest, and even her second-in-command walked out in disgust. Seeing the backlash growing, Amrit quickly took down the TikTok video and posted a new one, a non-apology apology, where she clarified that while she did not feel sorry for Charlie Kirk, she is in fact opposed to political assassinations and regretted that anyone could possibly think that she was okay with it from her smiling and giggling in the previous video. To her dismay, this didn't help, and by lunchtime, the leader of the main Red Party had publicly distanced herself from Amrit and invited her to leave the party. By dinner time, Amrit announced her resignation, but doubled down on her intent to be an activist for life, so she will probably next be seen with Greta Thunberg in Gaza, or something like that. With that, let's return to the people you might have heard about in the English-speaking world. MSNBC and their talking head Matthew Dowd was one of the first to speak out on the Charlie Kirk assassination, and he was quite clear that Charlie had brought this upon himself, for how dare he debate young activist students who think they've got the world figured out, and use facts and logic to show them that they have been disinformed and lied to. Now, he didn't say exactly that, of course, but that is what Charlie Kirk did. Dowd claimed he did something else though, and the backlash was quick and brutal, with that Park Place reporting MSNBC fires Matthew Dowd after comments on Charlie Kirk's shooting spark outrage. Writing, the fallout from Charlie Kirk's shocking death continues to ripple through media and politics. MSNBC has now fired longtime political analyst Matthew Dowd following his on-air remarks in the immediate aftermath of the Charlie Kirk tragedy. Comments that many blasted as insensitive, inflammatory, and outright disgraceful. And jumping forward a bit, by the evening, MSNBC President Rebecca Cutler issued a terse statement condemning Dowd's remarks as inappropriate, insensitive, and unacceptable. The network confirmed Matthew Dowd had been terminated effective immediately as a result of his Charlie Kirk commentary. This swift firing shows MSNBC recognized just how damaging the incident was. not just for its reputation, but for the basic trust of its audience. In moments of crisis, people expect networks to inform, not speculate wildly or malign the victim. Dowd himself issued a non-apology apology, which was better than the one delivered by the aforementioned Amrit Kaur, who even explicitly stated that she didn't feel sorry for Charlie. No one were rushing to forgive him either. Sticking to the reporting of that park place, they also covered how propagandist and your self-appointed better Jimmy Kimmel slams angry finger pointing, because now is not the time to point out that there were some media figures which may have gone just a smidge beyond the call of duty in labeling anyone to the left of Marx as right-wing extremists, as well as existential threats to, and this is their key word, just like the science, our democracy. That park place reads, in a post to Instagram following the news of Kirk's death, Kimmel wrote, instead of the angry finger pointing, can we just for one day agree that it is horrible and monstrous to shoot another human? Yeah, no one should point it out when Jimmy Kimmel and his side are to blame. However, they are the ones that get to point it out on the other side, and don't you pleb forget it. Meanwhile, over at Blue Sky, Jimmy Kimmel's viewers evidently did not agree with him, as they explicitly were calling for the deaths of Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and for some reason J.K. Rowling, so nice going there. Truly the best and most inclusive of society. Meanwhile, the South Park guys also recently roasted Charlie Kirk, and now Variety reports that episode is being pulled from circulation at Comedy Central. On being parodied by South Park. At the time, Kirk took it with a smile, calling the show an equal opportunity offender, saying it's kinda funny and it kinda goes to show the cultural impact and the resonance that our movement has been able to achieve. I look at this as a badge of honor. Maybe more should adopt that attitude and apply it a bit more broadly. If more people already did, then maybe Charlie Kirk's widow would still have her husband, and their children would still grow up with their father in their lives. Alas, quite a few focus on more partisan issues, and this is mayhaps not the best time to buy into partisan narratives and echo them online. Arizona Republic reports that's what Phoenix Sports Sun's writer Gerald Bourget did by way of posting on X. Truly don't care if you think it's insensitive or poor timing to decline to respect an evil man who died. Too many of you are more concerned with being polite and appearing to be good people rather than showing some damn backbone and standing on principle to condemn hate. However, his employer considered him the hateful one, as his employment status changed effective immediate. Because that's the thing. This whole incident has demonstrated the unbridled hate that lives in the heart of those claiming to be good. Might be a good time for them to look inwards and how much of themselves they have lost in their plight to be virtuous. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments.